Welcome to Disc Golf for Everyone. I'm your host, Jay. The other day I was playing a casual round. I had a friend film me driving. It was a decent drive, actually, slightly uphill, went about 330, possibly 340. My form is terrible. Now, I have some limitations I'll go into here in a moment, but there's just so many issues with this, so I'm adapting to it. I'm making use of it. I'm still throwing the disc pretty far, but boy, it makes me hungry to get that form improved, get it working better, and then hopefully throwing farther, throwing more accurately, throwing more consistently. And so today I wanted to go over how I went about that and what the results were. So here's the form as it was filmed a couple weeks ago by a friend, and you can see like I'm fully reached back here and I have just barely started my final step. So I'm incredibly early on the reach back. And if we roll it forward a bit more, there's all kinds of goofiness. My right foot, I'm stepping straight out and not forward. My arm has ended up at my back shoulder, and my right shoulder is pretty much collapsed along my body. So those are some issues with the form. Now, I haven't really talked about it before on my channel. I actually have a neurological disease, and it really presents some real limitations for me, so I'm never going to have perfect form. This is what an x-ray of one of my feet looks like, so I can still walk. I have Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, if you're interested in looking into it. As I said, it's a neurological disease, it's degenerative, and I have had to have a lot of surgeries so I can still walk. But I still want to improve my form, so I'm going to have some limitations, I get that, but I want to do better. So here's the setup I use. We've had a lot of rain where I am, and I wanted to get out there and practice throwing. I wanted to film it, and I wanted to get in the reps to improve the form, so I just dropped a drop cloth from my garage door, and I threw into that. So here I am, just taking a before throw, no practice, just throw the way I naturally throw, and you see all the same issues. The goofy sort of early reach back and going up to my right shoulder, etc. And then here, after some practice, is where I got to. It actually got there surprisingly quickly. I was very focused, and there's still some weirdness, there's still some problems, but real dramatic improvements on some key areas that I wanted to see. So if you take a look, right here, as I'm landing with that plant foot, I'm coming forward more, my reach back is timed much better. You can see it's right there, almost synchronized, huge improvement. And then if you look, my head is turned more, my shoulders are pivoted more, my shoulders not collapsed in the same way. These are all fundamental improvements I wanted to see. I do have this kind of weird thing with my wrist I sometimes do. I saw over and over where you see the disc kind of coming up before it shoots forward. So lots of work still to do, but some great progress made in about an hour, maybe a little more this morning. So, in fact, let's take a look at the before and after just so you can see them together. I think it makes it more clear. And just let them roll here real quick, and then let's sync them up in slow motion and you can see the differences. I don't know that I need to add any commentary to this. Yeah, it's, again, that little goofiness in the after where I'm still flashing the disc upward a little, but beyond that, everything's looking better. If we synchronize it here and hit some pauses, there's my reach back on the before. I haven't stepped yet, and you can see I'm still reaching back on the after. I have not yet committed to that full reach back, and my head's turned more, my shoulders are turned more. And then there, I'm stepping outward more on the after. My reach back is fully extended, whereas before I already had my arm coming way up. Yeah, these are just huge improvements. I was really happy with this. And then just drive it through. So there's my before and after. So how did I go about doing it? How does an old guy who's been playing disc golf for 2 years and has a neurological disorder, how do you make rapid improvement? And one, you speed up the video where it looks like it took a lot less time than it did. But here's the key. I did a lot of work to create a sense, a muscle memory of my body knowing what I was trying to feel, what I was trying to do. And then I threw over and over and over. But after every 3 throws, I would review my footage. I'd go back, look at the camera, filming all this, and review it. And I did this way past the point where it was any fun. So practicing the swing, practicing what it feels like, doing this over and over, and then throwing. But again, after every 3 throws, reviewing the footage carefully, and then just doing it over and over. So that's how you improve. There's no magic to it. I don't know, maybe this video you came in here thinking I'd have some great tip. I suggest just what I did here. Figure out a setup where you're not wasting all your time getting your discs. As I said, we've been having rain. I was kind of forced to do this anyways, but I think it's more effective. I just use that drop cloth. It's a heavier material, so a canvas, so it catches the disc really well. And throw into it over and over and review the footage and review the footage and review the footage and make those small incremental changes. You can see each time I'm up here I'm trying different things. I'm trying to make sure I'm using my hips as much as possible. I'm making sure my feet are in the right relationship to each other. I'm trying to get my shoulders and my hips synchronized. I'm trying to get my right shoulder so it doesn't collapse inward. All those things we saw in the video. And then I just did it again and again. And here's the crazy thing, it completely works. And it's not even that bad. Like, yeah, this took about an hour of reviewing footage and throwing and making those motions, but that's all it took. You know, and at the end of it, I had a pretty decent stroke, as you saw in the after. We'll go back to that here in just a moment and take a look at it. But I encourage you, find a setup where you can throw hard, where you can throw consistently, where you can get great footage, and where you can review that footage and keep getting reps in over and over and over and make those incremental changes until you get something that's, you know, still got work to do, but has improved on those fundamental points you're working on. For me, that reach back timing right there. Oh, so much better to see the reach back happen at the right time. All right, guys, that's about it. That's me trying to fix my form. It's take one because, man, there's so much more form to fix. All right, thanks, everyone.